Hello, I'm attorney Dana with Dana Legal Services. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what trademarks are. A lot of my clients ask me, how do I use a trademark? How do I get a trademark? What is a trademark? Trademark is basically a way of identifying you as the company or the origin of the goods and services to the consumer. So how do you go about getting a trademark so that the consumer knows who you are and it's protected and only you can use that mark? Now, there are two kinds of marks. There are service marks and there are trademarks. Trademarks typically are associated with a company selling goods, and service marks are typically associated with a company selling services. So, trademarks, service marks. How can you get a mark? Well, there's federal registration of a mark, and then there's state registration of the mark. So, for example, you can go register your mark with the federal government using the U.S. Trademark Office, and you can go register your mark with your state, such as in California or New York or Florida. Wherever you happen to be, you can register your mark with the state. In this video, we're going to talk specifically about federal registration of trademarks. There are, as I mentioned, two types of marks. There are service marks and there are trademarks. In the context of filing a mark at the U.S. Trademark Office, you can file for an actual use mark. In other words, you're currently using the mark, or you can file for an intent to use mark. Both of these marks end up resulting in a trademark registration if the Trademark Office has no objection. The only difference is an intent to use mark. Once it's approved, you have to show evidence of actual use. Whereas an actual use trademark, once it's approved, it's registered because you've got proof that you are currently using your mark. So once you get your trademark, what happens next? Well, there's ways that you can identify your logo or your brand or your mark as a registered mark. That's by putting the R with a circle around it. Prior to that, you just put the letters TM somewhere next to it to indicate that it's a mark that you are using as a trademark, or the letters SM next to it to indicate that you're using it as a service mark. That being said, after your mark is registered, you have to come back and continue to let the Trademark Office know you're using the mark. And after about the 6.5 year period, 6 year period, you have to go and tell the Trademark Office you're using the mark, and then it's every 10 years after that. If you don't file a statement of use with the Trademark Office 6 years or 10 years every day thereafter, your mark can be canceled, and therefore you lose your registration. If you have any questions, we're with Dana Legal Services. You can get a hold of us at this number or this email address, and we can set up a time to do a free consultation and answer any questions you might have about your trademark or your service mark registration. Take care.